The fluorescent lights buzzed like angry hornets in the glass-walled boardroom of Sterling and Voss, high above the glittering sprawl of Manhattan, but Aaron couldn't hear them over the whisper that slithered into his ear. "You sold me out, baby. For what? A corner office and a view that doesn't see me anymore?" He froze mid-sentence, his polished Italian loafers rooted to the Persian rug, as the ghost of Liam materialized across the mahogany table. Pale skin glowing ethereal under the projector's beam, those green eyes locking onto Aaron's with the same heartbroken fury from 7 years ago. The room full of suits, VPs and analysts scribbling notes on their iPads. Didn't notice a thing, but Aaron felt the chill seep into his bones. Liam's spectral hand reaching out, fingers brushing the air where his heart used to beat freely. It had started like every American dream worth its salt. Two kids from nowhere, crashing into each other in a dive bar off Bleecker Street. The kind where the jukebox still spun Springsteen, and the beer was cheap enough to drown regrets. Aaron was 24 then, fresh out of NYU with a business degree clutched like a lifeline and dreams of Wall Street bigger than the Empire State. Liam was 23, a barista-slash-struggling painter from the Rust Belt ghosts of Pittsburgh, his laugh like gravel and honey, sketching portraits of strangers on napkins while Aaron nursed his third IBA. "Your trouble?" Aaron had said that first night, eyeing the way Liam's faded Metallica tee hugged his lean frame, tattoos snaking up his forearms like secrets begging to be read. Liam just grinned, all crooked teeth and fire, and slid a napkin across the sticky bar. A quick sketch of Aaron, eyes captured mid-spark. "Nah, man, you're the spark. I'm just the fuse." They tumbled into love like it was a subway car at rush hour. Messy, urgent, alive. Late nights in Aaron's shoebox walk-up in the East Village, where the radiator clanged like a bad omen and the walls were paper-thin against the city's endless hum. Liam would paint by the window, his canvas splashed with the chaos of New York sunsets bleeding into night, while Aaron pored over spreadsheets, whispering ambitions into the dark. "I'm gonna make it big," Aaron would say, tracing the constellation of freckles across Liam's shoulder blades. "Pull us out of this grind. You, me, a loft in Brooklyn, maybe even a house upstate someday." Liam would roll over, his body warm and solid against Aaron's, fingers tangling in his hair. "We already got the world, babe. Right here." But Aaron couldn't shake the hunger, that gnawing Midwestern echo from his own Ohio roots. Get out, get ahead, or get left behind. Success wasn't a dream. It was survival, etched into him by a father who died broke and a mother who waitressed triple shifts. Their first fight came soft, like rain on AstroTurf. Aaron landed an internship at Sterling and Voss, the kind of cutthroat firm that ate young guns for breakfast and spat out millionaires by lunch. It meant 70-hour weeks, schmoozing at galas where the champagne flowed like lies, and coming home, if you could call it that, to a cold bed and Liam's sketches piling up like unanswered prayers. "You're fading on me?" Liam said one night, voice cracking over takeout lo mein in their cramped kitchen. He was wearing Aaron's old Columbia hoodie, sleeves rolled up to show the fresh ink on his wrist. "Always yours." Aaron, exhausted from a pitch that left him hollow, snapped. "I'm building something, Liam. For us. You think I want to grind like this forever? Slaving for tips while you doodle dreams that pay in ramen." The words hung there, ugly and American as apple pie laced with arsenic. Liam's face crumpled, green eyes flashing hurt before hardening into resolve. "It's not about the money, Aaron. It's about you choosing the machine over the man who loves you." But Aaron didn't choose. Not yet. He doubled down, pulling all-nighters fueled by Red Bull and regret, while Liam's art show invites gathered dust on the fridge. They made love like it could glue the cracks. Fierce, desperate, bodies slick with sweat and the salt of unshed tears. Liam's hands on Aaron's hips, guiding him slow and deep, whispering, "Stay with me. Just stay." And Aaron would promise, gasping into the curve of Liam's neck, the scent of turpentine and musk grounding him like nothing else. For a while, it worked. They stole weekends in Central Park, Liam sketching Aaron napping against an oak, sunlight filtering through leaves like gold confetti. Or drives up the Hudson in Liam's beat-up Civic, windows down, blasting the National while Aaron's hand rested possessive on Liam's thigh. "This is it?" Liam said once, pulling over at a scenic overlook, the river glittering below like shattered promises. He dropped to one knee. Not with a ring, but with a tiny watercolor of their hands intertwined, painted on birch bark. "Marry me? Not legal bullshit. Just you and me, forever." Aaron's throat tightened, tears blurring the view. Yeah. God, yes. The fracture hit like a market crash. Sudden, brutal, wiping out everything in its wake. Aaron's big break came via Harlan Voss himself, the silver-haired shark who built the firm on leveraged buyouts and broken unions. Kid, you've got brass? Voss growled over steak at Del Frisco's, the kind of place where power deals were sealed with a handshake and a side of caviar. But to run with the wolves, you gotta bite. There's a merger brewing, Pharmatech and Biogen. Dirt on Biogen's CEO. He's got skeletons, including a little arrangement with his pool boy that'd make the SEC blush. Aaron's fork paused mid-air, the implication sinking in like lead. Blackmail. Corporate espionage dressed in a Brooks Brothers suit. It wasn't just unethical. It was a line crossed into the abyss. But Voss leaned in, eyes gleaming. Do this and you're golden. Partnership track. Name your price. That night, Aaron paced their apartment, the city lights mocking him through the fire escape. Liam was at an open mic in the village, his guitar case stuffed with flyers for a group show. Aaron poured a scotch, neat like his father used to, and stared at the birch bark proposal on the mantel. Forever. The word tasted like ash. He thought of his mom's call last week, voice thin over static. Proud of you, son, but don't forget why you're climbing. He thought of Liam's laugh, echoing from the bathroom where he'd once serenaded Aaron with off-key Dylan. And he thought of the view from Voss's office, 57 floors up, the world at his feet. By dawn, he'd made the call, not to Liam, to a PI firm with a Rolodex of tabloid hacks. The leak hit the wires Monday morning. Biogen CEO in gay sex scandal, millions at stake. The stock plummeted, Pharmatech swooped in like a vulture, and Sterling and Voss pocketed a fortune in fees. Aaron's name whispered through the halls as the golden boy, Voss clapping him on the back at the closing dinner. That's how you play the game, Aaron. No apologies. But guilt gnawed at him, a rat in the walls. He came home late, reeking of bourbon and betrayal, to find Liam curled on the couch, phone in hand, the article glaring from the screen. This you? Liam's voice was quiet, deadly calm. Aaron collapsed beside him, the truth spilling out in fragments. The merger, the dirt, the choice. Liam listened, face draining of color, then stood, grabbing his jacket. You didn't just screw some CEO, Aaron. You outed him, exposed him like he's nothing. For what? A pat on the head from the suits. The fight erupted like a summer storm over the Jersey Turnpike. Raw, electric, tearing everything apart. Words flew like shrapnel. Aaron defending it as business, Liam calling it poison. A betrayal not just of the CEO but of them, of every queer kid scraping by in the shadows. You're becoming the monster you hate, Liam shouted, voice breaking as he shoved Aaron against the wall. Their bodies colliding in a tangle of fury and fading fire. Aaron grabbed his wrists, pinning them, their breaths mingling hot and ragged. I did it for us. For a life where you don't have to hustle sketches for rent. Liam wrenched free, eyes wild with pain. Us? There is no us if you're this. You're choosing the boardroom over my bed, over my heart, over everything we promised. He stormed out, the door slamming like a guillotine, leaving Aaron in the echo of his own lies. Days blurred into a haze of silence. Aaron buried himself in work, climbing the ladder rung by bloody rung. Junior associate to VP in 18 months, each promotion a spike driven deeper into his chest. He texted Liam, "Come back, we can fix this." But the replies dried up, replaced by radio silence thicker than fog off the East River. One night, 3 months in, Aaron found the apartment gutted. Liam's easel gone, clothes vanished, only a single canvas left propped against the fridge. Their faces intertwined, Aaron's eyes now shadowed with devil horns sketched faint in pencil, Liam's gaze accusatory. A note taped below, you wanted success. Chase it alone. Don't follow me into the dark. He didn't chase. Not then. Pride or fear or the lie that time heals, whatever it was, Aaron let it calcify. He dated casually, faceless guys from apps who fit into his schedule like puzzle pieces from the wrong box. Quick hookups in hotel suites overlooking Times Square. Bodies moving in rhythm but hearts miles apart. You're intense. One murmured post-coitus, tracing Aaron's jaw. Aaron forced a laugh. Just driven. But in the quiet hours, alone with the hum of his Sub-Zero fridge, he'd scroll old photos. Liam grinning at Coney Island, cotton candy smeared on his nose. Them kissing under the Washington Square arch, snowflakes catching in their lashes. The ache was a low burn, manageable if he kept moving. Success came swift and savage, the American way. Devour or be devoured. By 30, Aaron was a senior partner at Sterling and Voss. His name etched on the letterhead. His office a fortress of glass and steel with a wet bar stocked for victory toasts. He closed deals that reshaped skylines, hostile takeovers of tech startups bleeding innovation, mergers that swallowed mom and pop's whole. The city hailed him. Forbes 30 under 30, panels at Davos where he preached disrupt or die. Cocktail parties where heiresses and hedge funders vied for his arm. You're a force, Voss said at his promotion gala, raising a flute of Dom Perignon. The future of this firm. Aaron smiled, all teeth and tailored Tom Ford. But inside, the void yawned wider. No one saw the pill bottles in his desk drawer, Xanax for the nights when sleep brought dreams of green eyes judging from the foot of his king-sized bed. Then, the call came on a Tuesday in July, the kind of heat wave that turned Manhattan into a pressure cooker. Aaron was in a strategy session, dissecting quarterly projections, when his assistant buzzed, personal call, Pittsburgh area code. He waved it off, but she insisted, voice tight. Stepping into the hall, phone to ear. A social worker's monotone shattered the illusion. Mr. Hale? It's about Liam O'Connor. There was an accident. Car versus semi on I-76. He didn't make it. The world tilted, the marble floor rushing up. But Aaron caught himself on the credenza, breath sawing like broken glass. What? No. Tell me you're wrong. But she wasn't. Liam, driving back from a gallery opening in Philly, his portfolio in the passenger seat, dreams finally cracking open. The trucker dozed at the wheel. Liam swerved too late. Instant, they said. Merciful. Funeral was a blur of black suits and Midwestern rain. Aaron flying coach to Pittsburgh, the irony bitter as black coffee. Liam's mom, steel-haired and hollow-eyed, hugged him stiffly at the graveside, whispering, "He loved you till the end, you know." Carried that birch bark in his wallet. Aaron nodded, throat clogged, dropping a single red rose onto the casket as it lowered into the clay. Back in New York, the apartment he'd kept subletting felt like a tomb. Echoes of laughter in the floorboards, ghosts in the grout. He drank, fucked strangers harder, worked until his vision blurred. Grief's a bitch, his therapist said over Zoom. A Park Avenue shrink billing by the hour. Let it out. But Aaron couldn't. He armored up, convinced success was the only exorcism. That's when the hauntings started. Subtle at first. A flicker in the corner of his eye during earnings calls. Liam's silhouette against the blinds, arms crossed like what now, hotshot? Then bolder. A chill draft in sealed conference rooms, the scent of turpentine wafting from vents. Aaron chalked it up to stress, popping Ambien like candy. But the visions sharpened. Liam perched on the edge of the partner's table, legs dangling, sketching invisible lines in the air with a phantom pencil. Remember that merger? The one where you tanked a rival by leaking his emails? Tastes like betrayal, don't it? Aaron would blink, rub his temples, and the execs would pause. You okay, Hale? You look like you've seen a ghost. He forced a chuckle. Just the competition's margins haunting me. The real torment built to a crescendo at the annual summit in Vegas. Neon-drenched excess, where deals were inked poolside and sins confessed in penthouse suites. Aaron keynote on ethical disruption in the digital age. Irony dripping from every slide. The crowd of 2,000 applauding his bullshit like gospel. Backstage, nursing a whiskey sour, he felt it. The air thickening, temperature plummeting despite the desert blaze outside. Liam materialized full form, not translucent but solid as memory. Faded jeans, paint-splattered tee. That damn grin twisted into sorrow. Ethical? That's rich, Aaron. You traded my soul for a slot on this stage. Aaron's glass slipped, shattering on the carpet, drawing stares from stagehands. Not here, he hissed, backing into a service corridor, heart hammering. You're dead. This is my head fucking with me. Liam stepped closer, close enough Aaron could almost touch the stubble on his jaw, feel the heat that used to chase away winter chills. Dead because you pushed me away, because every choice you made chipped at us until I broke. His voice cracked, green eyes. God, those eyes. Pooling with tears that didn't fall. I waited, babe. Months. Years in my heart. But you chose the throne. Aaron lunged, hands grasping air, the ghost dissolving like smoke. He slid down the wall, sobs racking him silent and savage, the first real cry since the funeral. Security found him minutes later, overheated exec, they called it, ushering him to his suite with ice packs and NDAs. From there, the hauntings invaded every boardroom, every pitch, Liam's presence a spectral board member vetoing Aaron's empire. In a hostile bid for a green energy startup, Liam lounged in the client's chair, whispering, "They're destroying rainforests for your profit margins." Sound familiar? Aaron fumbled the close, blaming tech glitches. But Voss noticed, his praise curdling to suspicion. "Pull it together, Hale. You're slipping." Nights blurred into therapy sessions that peeled back layers like onion skin. The guilt, the love unspent, the queer kid from Ohio who armored his heart against a world that still whispered faggot in certain zip codes. "Forgive yourself," the shrink urged. But forgiveness felt like another deal to close, elusive as Liam's laugh. The breaking point crashed in like Black Monday, 48 hours before the biggest deal of Aaron's career. A $2.7 billion acquisition of a fintech darling, the kind that could catapult him to CEO. The war room at Sterling and Voss thrummed. Whiteboard scrawled with projections, coffee IVs dripping, a dozen analysts red-eyed and reverent. Aaron stood at the head, tie loosened, commanding the chaos. "We lowball on the diligence clause. Leverage their VC debt boom. We're in at 22% ROI. Nods rippled. But then the chill hit. Frost creeping up the windows despite the HVAC's roar. Liam appeared at the far end. Not mocking this time, but broken. Hunched in a chair, face gaunt, tracing patterns on the table with a finger that left no mark. "This one's got families, Aaron. Layoffs incoming. Widows and kids. You gonna haunt them too?" Aaron's voice faltered, the room tilting. Recalibrate the synergies," he ad-libbied, sweat beading under his collar. The team exchanged glances, but he powered through, pitching until his throat burned. Alone after, lights dimmed to moonlight through the blinds, Liam solidified, rising slow. "Stop this. Walk away." Aaron whirled, fury igniting. "Walk away? From what? This is my life now. You think your ghost show scares me off the ledge?" Liam flinched, but held ground, voice steady as the Hudson at dawn. "It's not a show. It's me screaming what you buried. I loved you, Aaron Hale, fierce, flawed, all of it. But you loved the climb more. And now, you're king of ashes." The words detonated, Aaron charging forward, fists pounding empty air where Liam's chest should be. "You left. You drove away. If you'd fought." Liam's laugh echoed, bitter as burnt coffee. "Fought?" I begged. "Babe. On my knees, remember? That night after the leak when I said we could run. Start over in some nowhere town, you painting murals, me selling ad space. But no, you chose the crown." Aaron sank to his knees, the carpet muffling sobs that clawed up from his gut. Visions flooded. Their first pride, hands linked through Chelsea crowds, rainbows smeared on cheeks like war paint. Lazy Sundays in bed, Liam's head on Aaron's chest, heartbeat sinking to mixtapes of Bon Iver. The proposal under the stars, birch bark crinkling in Aaron's pocket like a vow. "I chose wrong," Aaron whispered, the admission cracking him open. "Every day since, it's been wrong. I see you in every mirror, every deal. Accusing, loving, gone." Liam knelt too, ethereal hand hovering near Aaron's face. Almost brushing tears. "Then fix it. Not for me, for you. Burn the throne if it poisons the man I loved." The ghost faded with the dawn, leaving Aaron curled on the floor, the city waking indifferent below. He called in sick, first time in a decade, and drove the firm's Escalade upstate, the Taconic Parkway a ribbon of redemption through autumn blaze. The house was real, the one they dreamed of. A fixer-upper Victorian in Hudson, New York, bought sight unseen 2 years back on a whim, half-furnished and waiting. Aaron wandered its creaky halls, dust motes dancing in shafts of light, and found Liam's touch everywhere. In the sunroom he'd earmarked for a studio, walls primed white for canvases unborn. He sat on the porch swing, phone buzzing with Voss's voicemails. "Where the hell are you?" Deals cratering. But Aaron silenced it, pulling out his wallet. The birch bark was there, faded but intact. "Always yours, He traced the words, tears salting the ink. Back in the city by dusk, Aaron marched into the boardroom unannounced, the team frozen mid-panic. Voss glowered from the head. Hail, this better be good. We're bleeding 8 figures. Aaron straightened his tie. Not Tom Ford, but the faded NYU one from their first date, and laid it out. We pull the bid. Ethically, it's a minefield, insider whispers, aggressive terms that'll gut their innovation. I won't sign blood money. Gasps rippled. Voss's face purpled. You lost your mind? This is career suicide. Aaron met his gaze, steady as Liam's in memory. Maybe, but it's the first right choice I've made in years. He walked out to shouts, security escorting him past the lobby's marble lions, his badge yanked like a scarlet letter. The fallout was biblical. Headlines screamed Wall Street darling defects. Insider quits mid-deal, whispers of lawsuits and blacklists chasing him to his sublet. Friends, acquaintances really ghosted. His Rolodex went cold. Broke by Christmas, Aaron crashed on a couch in Bushwick, temping as a barista in a hipster joint off Bedford. The irony a slap from fate. Foam art lattes by day, nights sketching on napkins. Not deals, but faces. His own, haunted, Liam's at peace. Therapy dug deeper, unearthing the boy who'd hidden his first crush under football pads, the man who'd traded love for armor against a world still half hostile to men who loved men. One spring evening, as cherry blossoms choked the sidewalks, Aaron returned to Bleecker Street Bar. The jukebox hummed Springsteen still, the bartender older but the same wry grin. He ordered an IPA, slid a 20 across, and when a young artist, tousled blonde, green-flecked eyes, sketched a stranger at the end of the bar, Aaron's heart stuttered. Not replacement, not haunting, just life fragile and forward. Nice lines, he said, voice rough from disuse. The kid looked up, smiling shy. Thanks, you got a face worth capturing. Aaron laughed, true and rusty, the ghost in his periphery nodding approval before fading soft. He'd never marry the dead, but he'd honor the living, starting with himself. The house upstate called, a gallery gig in the arts district beckoned, and for the first time, success tasted like freedom. Small, earned, whole. Liam's whisper lingered, not torment but benediction. That's my boy. In the quiet, Aaron whispered back, always yours.